Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I brought a video. I don't know if it's on the other channel about Young Turk talking about how he did not support affirmative action, or he didn't want to be loud about it because Black people are gonna come for him. Now it's really amazing how people of color also, I don't know, vote and act against their own interest, because who does something like that? When it comes to affirmative action, Black people are not the sole or the most benefactors. These people are, right? And then it benefits Black people and every other person, that like other people of color, right? For a Turkish person to come out and say that he is against affirmative action really got me stirring. And now to crown it all, he came out, and him and Anna, and they were talking about woke. What is woke? Black people are always woke, and this. Man, are you okay? Don't you know where you are coming from? I understand he is Turkish American, right? But when I look at you, all I see is a Turkish man, right? And before you could also tell somebody that you are American too. I mean, first of all, they already said that you are, I mean, like you are Turkish or you are from any Asian country or something like that. Man, I am really sick and tired of seeing minorities too, or marginalized groups coming for Black people for no just reason. Now to my okay, for those that do not know, they have, if you hear anything woke, they actually meant the N word. Let's get into this video.
A lot of folks really decided that whiteness was more important to protect than the things that benefit them every single day. I keep coming back to this point. I know it's been some time since the election, and with every single cabinet pick that we see of folks who have very detrimental ideas at best and very deadly ideas at worst, how too many Americans did not do the work that they needed to vet their own candidate. And we're seeing that because a lot of them are having buyer's remorse at this point. But a lot of folks went into this situation, but for the folks who went into this with eyes wide open, knowing that this administration was going to be dangerous, but really couldn't get themselves around to voting for that brown lady, they all really decided that whiteness, protecting and uplifting and upholding whiteness, was more important than the things that benefit you every single day or that will benefit your life over time. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting your health care, protecting your affordable health care. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting the standards of education. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting your own Social Security. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting our own veterans. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting your own job security and protections around your employment, your own employment. You're so worried about some mysterious brown person coming to take your job that you're not paying attention to the billionaire who will reduce your pay and eliminate your overtime hours. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting our own health system, which is already crumbling at this point. More important than protecting our infrastructure. More important than protecting your own women. That includes your mama, your sisters, your daughters, your granddaughters, your nieces. You thought that protecting whiteness was more important than protecting your own food, your own water, and your own clean air. To you, what you have shown the rest of the world is that protecting whiteness was way more important than anything else. To you, what you have said is that society can crumble, but at least the identity of whiteness that has done more harm to you than you have realized was worth protecting than anything else.
So, you know how I'm always saying that I think white people who use the word woke and don't know what the fuck it's talking about should pay black folks? Yeah, I want my money from Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. I want my money directly from him. Him and Anna Kasparian. They can pool my money together and give it to me. They can. Because never in the history of never have I seen two so-called intelligent ass people use a word like it's a $10 hooker and bang it to death. I said what I said and I ain't taking it the fuck back. I listened to Cenk's unhinged rant on that Thursday Thanksgiving podcast that he did with Hassan Piker. And the whole time I'm saying out loud to myself, what is woke me? What is woke me? What is woke me? What is woke me? Cenk, What does woke mean? What the fuck does woke mean? I'm so sick of you. This is why motherfucking black folks is going, nah, we good. This is why. This is why. Because we have to routinely be told some shit we know the fucking meaning of by people who don't know what the fuck they are talking about. And Jake Uger just so happens to be the one that's on my radar right now. Right now. Hey, Jank, I dare you. Tell me, what does woke mean? Tell me, what does woke mean? I'm giving you the opportunity. Wherever he is, take this video to him. Take this video to him. Make sure you tag him. Tell me what woke means. Tell me, how do I separate my identity as a black man in America from my politics? Tell me this. Because I would love to hear from a well-fed former Republican, very rich man, how I should separate my blackness from my vote. I would love to hear this from him. Anna, you can jump your silly ass up in here too. You can get this work as well. Tell me I'm supposed to separate my identity from my politics. Tell me I'm supposed to forget the communities that I come from, the people that live in those communities, and the hardships those communities have suffered, the past, the present, and will be suffering in the future if shit isn't changed. Tell me I'm supposed to separate that from how I vote. You see, that's the problem. They don't have enough people that'll look them in the face and tell them the goddamn truth. You're grifting now. That's all this comes down to. Y'all have taken the Republican light route. You have, both of you. In fact, the entirety of, I won't even say the entirety of TYT, because I love Rick Storm, and Rick Storm keeps it fucking real all the goddamn time, but not you two. Not you two. And y'all think by living on Twitter, you somehow have the pulse of motherfuckers on the ground. So let me be the motherfucker on the ground and tell me, y'all is just as out of fucking touch as the people y'all are complaining about. Y'all live on Twitter. You think Twitter is where real people live. No, that's where trolls live. And then you have the goddamn audacity to talk about identity politics and woke politics. Tell it to me. Tell it to me. When we still have a country that still has motherfucking sundown towns in it, tell me I'm supposed to separate my politics from my identity. When we still have a country where black women are 4 to 6 times more likely to die in childbirth than their white counterparts, tell me how I'm supposed to separate my identity from my politics. When I have to listen to politicians on both sides of the political aisle keep talking about rules when they don't follow them, and the people in the middle, the centrist, want me to continue to pretend like I don't see these people breaking laws, breaking rules that they have waved in my motherfucking face for over 50 goddamn years that I'm supposed to follow. Tell me I'm supposed to separate that, my identity, from my politics. And while you're at it, I want both of you to try to tell a black man in America, a black woman in America, a black gay person in America, a black trans person in America, what woke politics are. Tell it to us. See, y'all are used to talking to a room full of what you consider to be liberals. Y'all will not dare say that shit to any black person on the ground, and you know it. Your balls ain't that fucking big. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to get schooled out of your fucking mind. You're going to hear about the history of what the word woke really meant. You're going to hear how that meant to be aware of social injustice and changing it. But until then white people got a hold of it and fucked it up. And you two dumb bastards sat there and believed this shit. So I am offering, and I'm opening an open fucking invitation to Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks. Why don't either one of you try telling me, a man who has lived as a black man in this country my entire fucking life, what woke is. And tell me, how do I separate my fucking identity as a black man in America from my politics? I will fucking be waiting. You know, there's an awful lot of talk about losing the right to free speech, right? Mostly it's coming from right-wing, evangelical, Christian conservative type motherfuckers. But I want to show you, or I want to tell you, what free speech looks like to these people. And I'm going to take people back to the days before Elon Musk bought Twitter. Now, he tried to wing. I don't give a fuck how y'all try to slice it. Before it was X gonna give it to you in the Twitter, it was Twitter. And Elon Musk made a little comment and bitch moaned and complained about it because he felt like his free speech was being fucking hindered. His free speech to spam all of Twitter with transphobic bullshit, racist bullshit, xenophobic bullshit, right? This from a motherfucker that came over here on a student visa, never went to school, and now is got the ear of the president of the United States, a child of apartheid. But make that make sense, but I digress. Now, he said he could buy Twitter and do better, and Twitter was like, all right, bet. He offered $48 billion for it and then tried to wiggle out of it. And the judge was like, no, you're going to break bread. You offered to do this, you're going to do it. So he does it. Literally, the day it was announced that Elon Musk bought Twitter, what happened on Twitter? Well, I'll tell you. Racist comments, N-word comments went up. The usage of the N-word in tweets went up 500%. And what was that accompanied by? Because I'm telling you all the time, it's always black folks and Jews. So did anti-Semitic comments go up 500%. There, ladies and gentlemen, is your free speech. You see, when I use my free speech, I use it to do things like commentate on what society is doing, educate to the best of my ability, make people laugh, make people angry, and make people think. I take the fact that I have this freedom of speech very seriously. I understand the government can't do a goddamn thing to me. I also know businesses like TikTok and Instagram can limit and censor what I say. They can, because they're businesses. And I understand that. Do I get mad? Of course I do. Getting a live ban because somebody feels like I'm harassing and bullying people, which is some coward ass shit, by the way. More of that free speech shit. But I digress again. I understand it is how the game is played. But when given the opportunity to express yourself, when given the opportunity to finally have your voice heard, what is the very first thing a lot of these X gonna give it to you in the Twitter fucking users did? Racist remarks? Usage of the N-word? Anti-Semitic slurs? And of course, the rest of the isms and phobias fall right behind. Transphobia, there. Homophobia, there. Sexism, there. Islamophobia, there. Xenophobia, there. Ableism, there. But these are the people that screamed and bitched and moaned and complained that people were saying things like, you can't say that, you're limiting my free speech. Followed by goofy ass white people talking about cancel culture, which is the most asinine, ridiculous, ignorant shit I have ever heard in my entire adult life, or one of the most asinine, ignorant, stupid things I've ever heard in my adult life. Ain't nobody canceling you. It's called accountability. That shit y'all keep spreading to every goddamn body else. Motherfuckers are holding you to the same fucking standard. You all mad. You're canceling me. But that's what happened. That's what happened. Usage of the N-word slur went up 500%. Usage of anti-Semitic slurs went up 500% from people who were screaming, y'all are impeding on my free speech. No, you could, here's the thing, you could always say it. You could always say it. The problem is y'all wanted to say it consequence free. Y'all did not want to accept accountability when you did it. Hell, Elon Musk has put his finger on the damn scales for years. Joe Biden sends out a tweet. Elon Musk sends out a tweet. Joe Biden's tweet gets 40 million retweets and likes and shit like that. Elon Musk gets 8 or 9. So what does he do? Calls in his board, his staff at X gonna give it to you in the Twitter, and then literally wants them to bump his fucking tweets and shit to the top to get more views. Is that what free speech looks like? We see it here on TikTok. We see it here on TikTok. We do. You could, that goofy ass Chris Mack bitch out here, Kamala said I can be black, so I'm going to eat some collard greens. She gets clapped back. What happens? I get a violation for harassment and bullying. But it wasn't harassment and bullying when she was saying this shit. It wasn't blatant racism when she was saying this shit. Jewish people on this application, they've had to face it. Muslim people on this application, they've had to face it. Gay people on this application, they've had to face it. Trans people on this application, they've had to face it. Women on this application, the shit they get is ridiculous. You get death threats, you get essay threats, and this is across the damn board. Across the board. You have people telling native and indigenous people shit like, I'm going to scalp you. But again, these are the people that scream about free speech. So when naturally they are called on or called out because of it, what's the first thing they do? Oh, you're trying to cancel me. No, bitch, we're trying to hold you accountable. You said this. We want to hold you accountable for your words and your actions. But I really want y'all to think about that. These motherfuckers, the right-wingers, screamed, pissed, moaned, and complained about their free speech being violated. But then when given the opportunity, here you go, little fella, say what you want. What do? The same racist ass tropes that they could have done in real life with real consequences. The same anti-Semitic shit that they could have said without, in the real world, they just didn't want any real consequences for it. Thou do protest too much. If the best you got in the world is you want to say the N-word loudly, proudly, openly, and you have to bitch, moan, and complain about your free speech not being able to say that, you really don't have anything we want to hear in the first place. If that's the best you got, you are a detriment to any sort of forward-thinking conversation ever. And then they do it under the banner of the Republican Party, which I really wish real conservatives would kick these people out because they're fucking up the brand, but what do I know? Think about it. You bitched, you moaned, you complained. Oh my God, my speech is being hindered and I'm being censored and canceled and this, that, and the third. Okay, so here's your chance. Here is your chance. Say what you want to say. Well, N-word, 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 N-word. Jewish slur, Jewish slur, Jewish slur, Jewish slur. Maybe you should have just shut the fuck up. Your speech wasn't worth it for anybody to hear in the first place. You ain't bringing nothing new to the table. Same shit we can hear at a Klan rally or a Proud Boy event. Your speech wasn't impeded. It's just that you had nothing to say that anybody wanted to hear in the first place.
So this is all I got from this video. And I have been following Young Turks. And I think I saw last year or something, one thing I have learned so far is to listen to Black women when they speak. You know, they know what they are saying. So they talked about Young Turk, and they said they are like, disassociating themselves from them. The same way as Joe Scarborough and all that, and the other woman, right? So as at last week, if I am not mistaken, a video surfaced where Young Turk was talking about how he is against affirmative action. But he was like, if I say it, like Black people are just going to come for me and all that. It was at that point that I knew that some people are just very jealous, right? Young Turk is a Turkish, a Turkish American man, right? To my great surprise, okay, I don't know if I should, yeah, okay, let me just, to my great surprise, I did not expect him to come out and say that he is against affirmative action because he is also benefiting from it. His own people are also benefiting from it. So it's not only something that Black people are benefiting from, it's something that it goes round, but these people benefit more out of it, affirmative action. So when he said that, I was like, so who really got our back? Who really got Black people's back? It was at that point that I really shrank. Like, did this man really say that? That also tells you a lot. That man said that on live broadcast, right? Sometimes I am not scared of the ones they say out that it's all over. I am actually scared of the ones that did not make it to the media. That is the ones that we really should be very scared of. Because if he could say that, that is to tell you how he feels in his innermost heart. And that is how it is. Right? And also, you all know he anchors this thing with Anna. And sincerely speaking, I do not know how to speak about all these people because they really are messing around with my people. And now they are, one thing, I don't know how to say this, but I hope Black people understand that they are now using woke as an N word for Black people. And each time I talk about woke, I ask them, do you really understand the meaning of woke? Or you just want to use it to quantify a Black person? Or you just, because you cannot say the word, then you try to use the woke to replace the other one? Do you really understand it? Black people are woke, these are woke, and all that. Who would see woke and choose to be dead? Of course, nobody. Except you are not living. It's only someone that is not living that would choose something like that. But someone that is living would rather be wide awake, be woke for life, instead of being asleep. Because majority of the people that voted for on the other side are sleeping. That's why they did what they did, and now they are looking for a way to save their butts, which I am not sure anybody can save their butts as it stands. So now what they do is go online or go on this asking you what is woke, what do you know about woke people, woke ideology, woke mindset. What do you mean by woke? All that. That a certain group of people already said that you all have done enough to us. And at this point in time, we are woke. We are not sleeping. We are absolutely active, watching to everything that is going on politically and all of that. We choose not to be sleeping. It's only a useless person that will choose to sleep when he or she is supposed to be awake. And still, you all do not want to understand the meaning. We are the Black people are the problem because we choose woke. I am really done with you all. I am done. Sincerely speaking, I am really very proud and happy about how Black people have come, right? The reality is that the way things are now, some people have chosen that their whiteness or their brownness over anything. And there is nothing that will make them change their mind or nothing that will convince them that they are not doing great or they have not done something great. But the reality is that some people are about to F around and find out, and they have already started finding out. And it's going to continue like this for those that think it is all a joke. I am sure some of you are already feeling the breeze because before you know what is going on, it is going to be January, and some of you are going to hear it the hard way. We did not make this choice for anybody. You all did. Yeah. So Young Talks got the nerves to come on television and start asking questions about work when he voted the other side. He should thank his stars that he is well to do. Or I guess, because he is making money from his studio and all that. But then people that look like me are not important because some people do not feel like we deserve that. We deserve to have all the rights every other person are supposed to have as human being. You all be playing yourselves, not black people, because as it stands, we are gonna keep watching you all and see how it goes because you all know that it ain't going any far. Bye for now.